As soon as we arrived in Las Palmas, we picked up our crew passes for 2 packed weeks of social events and ARC seminars. The ARC also organized a kids club for the week, which was a huge help, giving parents time to finish preparations and join the useful workshops on emergency management, maintenance, weather routing, rigging, and much more. One of the first things we tackled was the safety check, which quickly turned into a first aid test when Ant dropped the engine hatch on his toe. We patched up the toe and headed to our first social, but by morning it was clear he needed a doctor. And with the engine door crushing his nail, stitches weren't an option, so it meant for regular cleanups instead. So now let's talk provisioning. I started with the non-perishable food orders first, so we could pack early and figure out storage. We had 7 crew on board, 5 adults and 2 kids, and you're generally advised to prep for 4 weeks at sea. So that means 84 main meals and nearly 600 portions of food. I'd also heard the Caribbean can be more expensive than the Canaries, so we stocked up on extras to carry us through. One big tip for Las Palmas: even though it's EU, the VAT system is different, so shipping can be slow and expensive. So if you need any parts, bring them with you or buy locally. Pretty much every evening there was something on. A chance to meet other sailors and swap stories, struggles, and advice, but also get a break from the daily grind of crossing preparations. Max and the grandparents represented Tranquila on ARC's forest expedition, which has helped plant over 4,000 trees with ARC volunteers over the years. And before the ARC opening ceremony, St Lucia Tourism came aboard to say hello. The ceremony was a beautiful way to bring over 600 crew together, all representing their home countries, ahead of 140 boats about to cross the Atlantic. We chose to represent Portugal, and with our blend of Mozambican, French, and Australian roots, we added our own flags to the mix. As departure day got closer, we started prepping our perishables, and there's definitely an art to this. We washed all the fruit and veg in water and vinegar, then sorted and stored everything based on what lasts best. So some were better in dark and cool storage, others on the countertop or in the fridge and freezer, or even aired out at the back in our nets.
Thank you for all that energy you have given. Please congratulate yourselves. Huge round of applause. Thank you.
ARC chooses a family to take the much-loved Ted across the Atlantic, and this year Maddie was selected. So he was dropped off, passport and all, and the day before departure we took him out for one last dinner on land. Every boat was also fitted with a YB tracker, allowing friends and family to follow the fleet's journey in real time as we crossed the Atlantic together. What's your toe? We are off. How are you feeling, Jules?
Amazing. Nervous.
How's Ted feeling?
Amazing.
Max, are you ready? All you need is a baguette. Huh? And everybody's gone. Gone. Departure day was a real mix of emotions. We were excited, relieved, and felt like a huge weight had lifted off our shoulders after 5 months of non-stop rushing to reach the ARC start line. We were also trying to learn about the boat, homeschool the kids, dodge storms, find crew, and all the prep necessary to get us here as we had just bought Tranquila a few months ago.
Seven, 6,
5,
4,
3.
3, 2, 1. All clear. All clear.
Our friends left Las Palmas at the same time as we set off, so they caught this epic shot of us all from above. But the reality on board was a little different. It was a rough, bumpy start, though the forecast did promise improvement over the next 24 hours.
Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right.
Just hours after leaving a start line of 140 boats, by sunset only a handful were still around, and we barely saw the fleet again for the next 3 weeks.
Closer every dawn.
With the trade winds slow to arrive, many of us headed down towards Cape Verde. We made the most of calmer seas though and got some fishing in. Unfortunately, that chafe in the halyard was only getting worse, and not ideal when you're relying on the spinnaker for downwind sailing. We tried everything to get to the bottom of it. We brought the jib down, we sent Nico up the mast a few times, but we still couldn't find the issue. So in the end, we decided it was best to bring the spinnaker down every day before sunset, tape it up where the chafing was, and sail either with the jib or the code 0 instead. This was the safest option to avoid bigger problems, especially at night whilst everyone was on solo shift.
I can smell the shore, it's right. Look ahead, the sea is calm, and I know we've been through a lot, but just wait. Wait for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. 7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. Wait for our home to show on the horizon. Soon we'll be there. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn.
The dolphins were back for Maddie's birthday, and given how much time we had on our hands and a special request from the birthday girl, we set ourselves a challenge of making a rainbow cake today.
We just sail with the wind that we've got, and when we're drowning in doubt, just keep on believing. We are
Maddie, happy birthday to you.
Hip hip, hooray!
Hip hip, hooray! Woo!
As the seas remained calm, we kept fishing, but this was not a usual catch. As we prepared him for dinner, we found this little guy had eaten a golf ball and we couldn't believe it. Golf balls sink, and we were out in the middle of the Atlantic, very far from shore. The timing of someone throwing a golf ball and the Mahi eating it would be 1 in a million or more. So, who's out here playing golf? Does it say anything? No.
C'est celle de Horn. Celle de Horn.
The trade winds finally kicked in, and the fleet dispersed even more, as boats took their own strategies based on the forecast we had. It was really a game of trying to figure out the best route to St. Lucia and trying to dodge any wind holes as much as possible. But all of a sudden, it got windier, messier, and much louder. With the wind brought our new friends on deck. They really made their way to the little corners of the boat, and if you missed it for a few days, you would smell it. A fellow sailor on the docks back in Denmark gave the kids pirate cookies, and we were to open them when we'd reached the halfway mark in the middle of the Atlantic. This was a great way to celebrate the milestone, as well as a little Bon Jovi to get us going. Ted came out to celebrate the halfway mark with us too, and if the wind remained, we estimated to make landfall in 8 days. Reaching the middle of the Atlantic meant a couple of new shifts for us. Increasing temperatures and the beginning of squall territory, and those two go hand in hand. Given the increase in swell though, our dreams of swimming at this mark were crushed, and with air and water temperatures of 30 degrees, we resorted to makeshift pools aboard instead. And checked our rudder bearings daily after reading how important it was to stay on top of them. We were even more vigilant following another catamaran in the fleet having to abandon ship last night. They'd suffered a leak at the base of the rudder stock in the engine compartment, and the resulting water ingress damaged their electronics, forcing them to abandon ship and transfer to another ARC boat in the fleet. Nervous giggle. squalls there. It was my birthday today, and with calmer seas, we took our first dip in the deep blue. It was so refreshing after all these hot days at sea. We ended the day with a stunning sunset on one side and thunderstorms brewing on the other. We were lucky to miss most of the squalls, which wasn't the case for everyone in the fleet. Okay, so what color is this, Jules?
This is pink.
It's not
Beige pink.
It's not.
Peach pink.
It's no peach.
It is a pastel pink.
Maddie, what color is this cushion?
I think it's the lighting, honestly.
While lowering the spinnaker one of the days, the sock twisted, and it became a real challenge to get it down. We made sure everyone had life jackets and safety lines on, as this could have been really dangerous. Luckily, we avoided any damage and managed to get the sail safely back under control and fixed. Bye-bye.
Ooh, it's deep.
Now the square.
Happy days.
Where did we start?
We're literally on
Here?
the border.
Done that. That. How many squares to go?
1, 2,
3. With 2 days to go, we'd hit a wind hole, and the ARC group chat was going off with jokes about buying fuel off each other. One of the boats had asked for fuel, but they were 30 miles away, moving half the speed to conserve fuel, and sunset was coming, so we had a few issues here. We coordinated an overnight sail to meet, then had them follow us until sunrise for a safer transfer. We hadn't seen any other boat in days, so it was pretty special to finally help out fellow ARC sailors. We tested the transfer with one jerry can. It worked, so we passed the rest, and voila! Our last night at sea was quite exciting as we could see Barbados glowing from a distance. And the next morning, we woke up to the best sight ever, land on the horizon. Fueled by coffee, crepes, and Nutella, we had a celebratory brekkie before pulling into St Lucia where the ARC crew awaited us.
Tranquila, congratulations, you've completed the ARC Rally and welcome to lovely St. Lucia.
Thank you, our finish line.
Please take your time and get your sails down safely and give us a call back on channel 74 when you've completed that and we will give you further instruction.
Got it, thank you.
Thank you.
Next uniform.
After a 9 a.m. welcome rum punch and 3 weeks at sea, the crew crashed whilst Ant got our immigration and customs work done. Once cleared, we were so excited to see our friends again and have our first onshore meal. It was incredibly hot and we were keen to go for our first swim, but with all the excitement, the kids jammed the dinghy platform and we thought we'd be out of action for a while. We managed to repair the platform and were out just in time for sunset swim.
Reminds me a bit of Skrillex.
Five crabs. Five crabs. See? Oh. Cutie. And today I've got my puppy. And anyway.
after 3 weeks at sea, we decided to rent a car and explore St Lucia by land. We thought land life would give us a break from repairs, but already late for our lunch and 2 hours away from the marina, we got a flat tire.
So it may be just rotten, it can happen. And I told them that it stinks. Yeah. They say, okay, it can be just damaged like that.
You would think that after being at sea for so long we'd stay put, but after a few days in St Lucia we decided to make a quick sail down to St Vincent and the Grenadines as we arrived a week before the arc closing celebrations, and we wanted to check out the famous Union Island for some kiting.
Nothing there.
Any turtles?
No, no turtles.
Give me a...
We also saw some stingrays.
Oh yeah? Take us to the turtle. Let's go see the turtles from far away.
We saw a baby turtle.
Oh, Maddie, did you see it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Was she swimming or eating?
She came up to the top.
Oh, she's there. Did you see it, Maddie? Yeah. Is that your first turtle? First turtle from Maddie underwater. She's here. She's here. Look, look, look. She's gonna come up. She's here. Oh, hello. She's here.
Hello, baby turtle.
Hello, baby turtle. She's gone. Bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye, baby turtle.
What did you see, Max?
I saw rays, fish, and turtles.
Okay, and favorites so far?
Favorites were like, well, we saw a big turtle, stingray, yeah. We didn't see any octopus.
Any?
There was no octopuses.
Isn't that usually in rocks and stuff?
Yeah, but there were a lot of rocks. Like,
okay.
there were some rocky places. I was the turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the turtle. And you saw big turtle.
Yeah.
We did get some incredible snorkeling in, but it was quite rainy, and with almost no wind at all, we didn't get our kiting in, unfortunately. This area of the Caribbean had also only recently been hit by the devastating Hurricane Beryl, so there was understandably an eerie feeling in the air, and the destruction was quite notable. We were so glad to have made it back in time for the ARC celebrations after an eventful overnight passage that damaged our jib at 3 a.m. as we got hit by a squall on the way back to St. Lucia.